welcome back, or welcome to, if this is your first episode of the Broken Strength podcast. Today I want to talk about how to find intention with your training. And this goes for, it can be physical fitness, and intentions can go for anything in your life. So these can apply to a lot of different areas. But I want to chat with you guys through what it means to have intention and why it's important to find it, because a lot of the time we just train to train, or we live to live, and we don't necessarily have like a clear intention of what we're doing or why we're doing it. And it can be really important to your physical fitness journey itself, because sometimes we don't have an intention, we lose track of it, or we fall off track, or we just don't have that drive there. So episode freaking 12, we're gonna be talking about that. So if there was like an activity that maybe at one point you used to look forward to, or maybe this is the starting point of your journey that you're just not in it yet and have that drive and that motivation there, or just that discipline and dedication, here's how we can get to that feel good motivation that maybe inspired you in the first place, or is gonna get you started now. So couple things I want to go through today, and different reasonings of why we do things and different ways to do them are, for starters, first thing, clarify how you want fitness to fit into your life. This doesn't just have to be fitness, like I said at the beginning. It can be anything that you're wanting, whether it's your job, your relationship, just you want to clarify how you want it to fit in your life. So in my group, in my personal training groups, I break up their programs to work exactly for their current lifestyles, for how many days a week of training works for them, best with their schedule currently, macro tracking for food flexibility so there's no restrictions. But you have to set the clarification of truly how you want it to look. So you want to ask yourself, what does your ideal day look like? How much of your time do you want, or how much of your time would you dedicate to your fitness or activities that support your active lifestyle, like stretching, sleeping, eating, recovery activities, etc. How much of your day you're going to put into that, and what types of things are you going to want to do? And then you want to figure out what you need to get from today's activity, from today's workout in particular. What do you want out of it? So maybe you're fired up and just ready to knock out that workout, crush it, hit some PRs. We have those days. Some days we're just I freaking got this. But then some days you're just man, I need a break. And it's just not going how you expected. So maybe you're completely drained from an emotional day, maybe, or even an emotional week at work or at home, and you just need to shake off some of that bad energy and those bad feelings that you're having. So you want to figure out what your intentions are going to be for those workouts itself, and get honest and clear about what would serve you best right now. And regardless of what your training plan prescribes, or whatever you're following or your ego expects of you, you have to get clear with what's going to work best for you. So yes, even for me, I give my girls what they need to succeed, but sometimes that need is outside of what we've planned. So sometimes you might need to go for a walk instead of going to the gym, or have a different meal. It doesn't have to be exactly what maybe is laid out for you, or what is the right thing to do, I guess, maybe best way to explain it, from what a coach gives you. Sometimes you need something different. It's different movement, different foods, whatever it is. Sometimes you have to change things up, but you need to clarify how you want your fitness, how you want your healthy lifestyle to fit in your life. What are you going to prioritize? How are you going to prioritize it? And what are you going to do to make it work? That's the first thing, is clarifying how you want fitness to fit into your life. The second thing I want you guys to do is to identify and name the feelings that you want to experience now. And what I mean by that is clearly articulating the feeling you want to experience during today's workout. And when you can clearly do that, it will crystallize it in your mind and make it so it's easier to remember while you're working out. You want to figure out, maybe it could be as simple as choosing a simple word. That could be it. And it could be something like flowing, or powerful, or relaxed. Choose one word or phrase to describe how you want to feel during that workout. There are some days where my phrase is just better. Like, I want to feel better. Like, there's days where my mental health is not good, or I'm just not having the best day in general, and I just want to go and I want to feel better when I leave. But then there's days where it's like, I want to feel strong, and I go in there and I crush my workout. I hit PRs. I do everything I need to do to feel that. But you want to find that word every day that you're going to the gym, or every day that you're going to do movement, that's going to be your outline of what that movement's going to look like. And identifying and naming the feelings that you want to experience in that day and time, like in that moment, is going to help you realize what your intention is for that workout. So that's the second thing. The third thing is determine what type of workout would help you best achieve that feeling that you stated in this previous or in the second part, the previous one. So regardless of what is planned for that day, whether your coach has something laid out for you, you've had something laid out for you, whatever it is, you need to figure out and be honest about whether it's the best choice for you that day. So like I said, if you feel like you need to have like a nature walk and that'll be better for your mental health than the gym, do it. Movement is movement. It doesn't have to always be the gym. It doesn't always have to be hitting PRs. It doesn't have to be lifting weights. It can be any sort of exercise, any sort of movement that just gets your body flowing, that can be beneficial to you. It's all beneficial. But sometimes you need it more than other days, so sometimes you have to adjust what you're doing to work best for you. And that's where that setting that intention comes into play. And you decide that today's intention, or say if you decide that today's intention is to achieve like a relaxed rhythm and to feel as though you could just keep this pace going forever, you have to figure out what that means to you and what that looks like to you. So sometimes you have to make adjustments. There's days where I just take my dog for a walk. Maybe my gym was planned for that day and that's what I chose to do because that's what's going to make me feel my best. That's what's going to make my mental health feel its best. And sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we have to make those changes and make those adjustments to make it so we can feel our best inside and out and not overdo it in our minds. Because yes, the gym is so beneficial to our health and our bodies and everything in between, but sometimes we have to take a step back and do something that's just good for maybe our mental health, or just something that we need to clear our minds. And sometimes the gym just isn't that. Like for me, the gym is a big place for my mental health, but there are times where it's not the place I need to go to clear my mind and for my mental health. So you have to decide that, like, what your intention is that day and determine what type of workout is going to help you feel what you identified as your like phrase or statement or word in the previous section. So you want to know what that word's going to be, and you need to figure out what exercise is going to match that. And then the fourth thing is staying focused on maintaining your intention. It is so easy, and I'm going to ask y'all now, how many of you have sat there and wrote out in a journal, wrote out in your day planner, everything you're going to do, all your intentions for the week, and then the week ends and you're just like, gosh darn it, I didn't hit any of those points I planned. You miss a lot because you didn't set clear intentions. You set intentions, you had plans of things, but you didn't set out a path to actually achieve them. And that's what we want to work on. So say, for example, we're going to use running as a good example for today. So say you're running a 5-miler and you start focused on thoughts of relaxed rhythm, releasing any thoughts or experiences or expectations that don't support the intention, whatever it is, you're just releasing that. But for example, like if you're running and you're letting all these like conflicts, whether it's from your home, relationship, work, whatever, running through your mind throughout the entire time, it won't help you find that relaxed rhythm. So what you need to do is find that intention, find that ability to release those feelings and those situations and let yourself live in that moment of hitting that intention. If your goal is to be relaxed, do you think thinking about every single thing in your life that's not going as planned is going to help you do that? No, it's not. You're definitely not going to feel relaxed. So we want to figure out and set that intention of like, it doesn't have to be your entire day where you don't think about these things that are going on. Obviously, we don't want to push things aside. We want to address what's happening, address things that are bothering us, but we also need to let ourselves breathe and let ourselves clear our mind. But sometimes we need to just take a break, like to do that, to clear our minds and everything. So setting that intention for maybe that 5-mile run where you just don't think about it. Don't let yourself even just remotely think about it. You just let yourself enjoy that time. Clear your mind. It can help so much, because even if you don't think about it during that time, coming back to it after you do something that helps clear your mind can help you so much with seeing a bigger picture of it, or maybe seeing a more positive view of it. If something happened at work and you're constantly, it's running through your mind and you're overwhelmed and you're like, I don't know what to do about this, clearing your mind, going and doing a workout, going for a walk, going for a run can help you clear it, clear your mind, and then also come back with a better state to be like, maybe this happened today, but tomorrow's a new day. Maybe it won't happen tomorrow. Or you might be like, I can approach this in a more calm manner, because maybe it's something that you just wanted to like explode on. Like, you know, when things happen and your instant reaction is just to be like, and just like lose your marbles at somebody or at something, taking that time to breathe and to clear our minds can help us come back in a more calm and mature manner. And setting that intention for that movement of the day can really help you set the intention for how you're going to react to things or how you're going to approach things in the future. So it really helps in a lot of different ways. But say you may struggle to keep the pace if these thoughts keep going. When you're doing that 5 mile, if you keep these thoughts like running through your mind, you don't let yourself have a break, you're going to be running and then walking and then jogging and then sprinting. I'm not a runner. I literally said this on my Instagram story the other day, like, I don't run unless people are chasing me. I'm trying to learn how to like running because my dog likes running. Well, actually, he doesn't like running. He's a horrible walker, so sometimes if I run with him, he doesn't pull me as much. So I'm trying to learn how to like running, and it's nice out here, and I have a neighborhood to run around now because like our house is a really good neighborhood. So I'm trying to learn. But like, I used to try this when I was younger, and I would always be so overwhelmed with thoughts when I would be running, where I would just start sprinting and I couldn't control my pace because I would be like thinking about something that would make me anxious, and then all of a sudden I'd be like running because it's like I feel like I need to run from what I was thinking about. And we want to make sure that we clear our minds during these workouts to set those intentions to do so, because it makes it so much easier to keep us in that calm state and to help us get through those times. So you might struggle to keep the pace if you let these thoughts take over. And you have to choose whether you honor your intentions or push yourself to run the entire distance. You have to choose if you're going to honor what your intentions are for that workout, for that day, for your life. You have to choose. You don't want to let your ego convince you to dishonor your intentions by pushing yourself to exhaustion when you don't want to. Or by honoring your intention, you prioritize your values and desires over that end goal. And doing so, basically, it ensures that your training is sustainable on a daily basis. That's why I'm saying, like, you might have a program from a coach. You might have a plan laid out. You might just have made one for yourself. But sometimes we have to alter what we're doing to prioritize our health. And not just, like, our health and our physical fitness. Our health and our mental sides, our emotional sides. Because sometimes that's not what we need in that moment. And this fluid and intuitive training approach feels easier because it fits seamlessly with the rest of your life. And it's constantly changing demands and circumstances, and when you make things work with what's going on, it makes it easier to make things work. Because when you try to, like, how many of you have tried to start a new training program or a fitness lifestyle, whatever it is, and you've tried to change everything all at once, and then like you're like a weekend and you just hit a wall and you're like, yep, nope, not happening. That's because we don't set intentions, and we do too much at once, and we try to change everything that we're used to and that we're comfortable with. And yes, sometimes getting into a lifestyle that's different than what we are, it's uncomfortable. There is going to be moments where we have to get used to being uncomfortable, because that's how we make changes. But it's like that saying that, I know this is going to sound cheesy, but great things don't come from comfort zones. And we all know those sayings, we all hear them over and over again, but it's so hard to apply them sometimes. And we want to make sure that we are taking steps out of our comfort zone, but not leaping out of it 24/7. Because as soon as you try to do something and you go full, like, balls to walls, like, just everything changes, I cannot speak today, you're going to struggle to stay on track because you're not used to it. You took away everything that was a comfort for you. So we want to make sure that we are setting those intentions and going with the flow of our lives at the same time. So that's why when I do my programs, like everything's tailored to each person individually, depending on how many days a week they can work out, when they can work out, if it's a home workout, it's a gym workout, their nutrition, if they need a structure, if they're okay with macros. Like every single thing is structured to each person, because that's the best way to get the actual results from it. Because if I were to give everybody the same cookie cutter program, maybe it would work for some people. But for some people, they'd be like, yeah, this is not my lifestyle. This doesn't work with my lifestyle. And that's where that customized training comes into play. That's also where setting those individual intentions comes into play. Because if we don't have those intentions, we don't have that seamless fit with our already existent routine, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen because we're not going to stick with it. And so as you fulfill your intentions on a daily basis, success occurs frequently rather than only when you reach the race's finish line. So rather than, like, if you only set a goal that's an end goal, like you want to see if you, say, let's just use competing for example. Like if you want to do a bikini competition, if you only have that end goal in mind, your journey there is not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable in general. Bikini competitions take a lot of work. They take a lot of dedication and a lot of discipline, but if you only focus on that end goal, you lose so much of your journey. You lose the excitement of everyday changes and being proud of yourself for overcoming certain obstacles. It could be something as simple, like you might not even think about this, and if you're only focused on end goal, you might even not realize that like you resisted having something that day. Maybe you were like, oh, I really want a donut, but you're like, you know what? My goals are more important than this right now. And that's not having a restrictive lifestyle. That's not having a restrictive diet. That's having mindfulness. And that's what we want to achieve. We want to be able to set those intentions of being like, this is not something that is going to make me successful in the long run. You might be like, you're going to be able to have it, but in that moment, you might be like, you know what? My goals are more important. And being able to remember that you did that is going to be so much more important than hitting that end goal. Being able to remember every little milestone that you achieved by setting those intentions, like such a rewarding feeling. So it's going to be something that's a lot more stuck in your memory than, oh yeah, I competed one time and I was at this body weight and this body goal for like a whole 2 weeks of my life, because we don't stay at that point. That when you're doing competitions, like that's a short-term goal, because it's not something that's sustainable long term. But setting intentions is sustainable long term, and we want to do that because we want to have those intentions day in and day out that keep us going, but then also let us know like when we need to take breaks, when we need to do something different, when we need to give ourselves maybe a little grace period, whatever it is. But as we set those intentions, that success occurs a lot more frequently. It's not just that end goal. So that's why we want to set them. We want to have those intentions. So if you're struggling to figure out maybe what works best for you, or struggling to figure out how to keep things going long term, clarify how you want fitness to fit in your life, how you want something that you're wanting to achieve to fit in your life, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be just fitness. Identify and name the feelings that you want to experience right now, not in 3 months, not in a year, right now in your life, this day exactly. What do you want to feel and what do you want to experience, maybe during your workout or just during your day or during your job or whatever it is. Then you want to determine like what type of workout, what type of activity, maybe what type of extracurricular or whatever is going to help you achieve that feeling that you had created or that you stated. And that, remember, like I said, that identifying the names or feelings is going to be like a word, like flowing or powerful or relax, like whatever that word is. You want to figure out what type of movement, what type of activity is going to help you get to that point. And then you want to stay focused on maintaining your intention, because it's so easy to fall off track. It's so easy to get wound up in lots of other things going on where we're like, oh, well, that day is gone. Now I didn't do anything I needed to do. My intention was this, but I did the complete opposite. Whatever it was. We need to stay focused on maintaining those intentions so that we have that long-term success. I hope that like kind of makes sense. But if anything I ever say in the podcast doesn't make sense, always feel free to either DM me on Instagram. It's just @ __ I think there's 2 underscores, KOFITNESS, and then another 2 underscores. And then, or you can email me at kofitcrew@gmail.com. I will always answer. Or if there's anything you guys want me to specifically talk about, you can always reach out to me and I will go through them. But when it comes to having that success long term, we have to set daily intentions, not just long term. You want to be a millionaire? You can't just say, I want to be a millionaire. Like, what are you going to do every single day to get to that point? What are you going to do in the next hour? And then the hour after that? You have to set intentions for everything that you're doing, for every little step, because when we don't have those intentions, things can really get forgotten about and we just miss over them, and then we lose that opportunity. So we want to set those intentions so we have that success long term. But if that doesn't make sense, let me know. But I really appreciate you guys always tuning into my podcast. We're on episode 12. I can't believe we've done so many. I know I haven't been super consistent posting. Life has been freaking busy. But I'm hoping it calms down a little bit more soon so I can get back to always being able to post these. But let me know if you guys like them on YouTube, or if you just want them on Spotify and Apple and everything, and you just want to listen to them. But I'm doing both right now, so if you guys want one over the other, let me know. But that's all I gotta say today. So again, like I said, if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. If there's anything you're struggling with, you can always message me, you can always email me, and we can chat about it on here in the next ones. But that's all I gotta say. So I hope you guys have the absolute best freaking day ever. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, give yourself some grace, give yourself some ease, set your intentions for the day. If you are listening to this in the morning when it's released, or in the morning of any day, go and write this out. Go write out these 4 steps. Write out each step for yourself, what your intentions are going to look like for the day, for your workout, for your fitness, whatever it is. Write them out so you have that visual, and then set a plan for yourself that's going to get you to those goals. That's going to make it so you can follow through on what your intentions were for that day, or that workout itself, whatever it is. But I want you guys to do that if you are listening to this in the morning. You can be in the evening as well. You can set out your intention for the following day, whatever it is. But while you're listening to this, this is your reminder to write out your intentions and figure out your game plan of what's going to be best for you to hit those goals. Because we can't just set a goal and just expect things to happen. We have to set a routine, set those intentions, and set a game plan that's going to be what gets us there. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week bright and early on Monday morning. And I will have Tanner in the next, or actually not next podcast, but he will be in probably 2 podcasts from now, maybe 3. We were supposed to do this one today together, but he's working out of town right now, and his schedule's a little crazy, and he leaves again tomorrow morning, so he's trying to pack and get all this stuff sorted. So we didn't have time today to jump on here, but he will be here soon, so we'll do more Q&As on Instagram, so if you have any questions, we'll be able to answer more when he does jump on. But let me know if there's anything you guys want me to talk about, or any topics, or anything you guys want me to touch base on in here. But other than that, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for tuning in.